Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Victoria Chrysler and I'm a realtor with Optimum Realty Group in Calgary. I wanted to quickly go over what is going on with interest rates as we go into the new year and talk a little bit about an article that I just read. So, if you don't know, the Bank of Canada is planning on raising interest rates. It says early on in the new year. It looks like they're saying close to March, rates are going to start going back up. So there's a lot of speculation on whether or not this will slow down the market and all of the activity that we're seeing. Some people don't think that it's going to slow down. Others think that people are kind of scrambling to buy now before they raise the rates, but only time will tell what happens next year after that. So something to be aware of if you are thinking about making a purchase. The other thing I thought that was interesting in this article, this is a BNN Bloomberg article, it said that most Canadians that they surveyed do not understand the penalties that they have with their mortgage for early prepayment. So that was kind of consistent with some of the things that I've seen when going out and meeting people and talking to potential clients. So for example, when I'm running the numbers and I'm getting an idea of what a property would sell for, I ask what the balance is owing on the mortgage, and then I calculate all the fees and everything to see how much money would be left over when the sale is done. I've asked everybody that I've met if they have a prepayment penalty on their mortgage. Sometimes people know what it is, sometimes people say they don't have one, and quite often people say that they don't know. They don't know what I'm talking about. I explain it to them, they get a hold of their lender or whatever, their bank, and on some occasions they found out that they have a $10,000, $15,000 prepayment penalty. Usually that's pretty high, but I've seen $5,000, $7,000. So if you buy a townhouse and 3 or 4 years later you want to sell because you want to buy a house, and you bought when the prices were a little bit higher, the market's dropped a little bit, and you have a $8,000 penalty on your mortgage, plus you have to pay a realtor's commission to sell, typically, all of a sudden, your like little bit of equity that you have after 3 or 4 or 5 years, that can be reduced quite substantially. So that $20,000 or $30,000 that you thought you would have to put down on a new property is gone. And I've had to have that conversation quite a few times with people at all different levels of income and different types of properties. I talked to someone who had a $800,000 house that was not going to be able to sell based on the penalty that she would have had to pay and the type of mortgage that she had. She basically had no equity. So I think it's really important. I'm obviously not a mortgage broker, but it's really important to understand what kind of mortgage you're getting because they are not the same. They're all very different. There's fixed rate, there's variable rates. So these are things that you want to be aware of. Think about how long you are going to be in a property before you purchase and get a mortgage. If you don't know if you're going to stay there long term and you're signing up for a 5-year mortgage and you want to sell in 3 years or you're going to move in 3 years and then you have to pay a penalty, that is really going to affect the amount of equity that you have. But like if you start with 5%, and have an insured mortgage, any sort of penalty at all plus your fees is going to put you in a bit of a rough spot to do a quick sale. So talk to your realtor and your mortgage broker if you're buying a house and explain like what your future plans are. It's no big deal if you do want to live somewhere for a couple of years and, switch it up, change it up. That's no problem. But you're going to want to make sure that you have the right type of mortgage. And the lowest rate and the lowest amount that you pay is not necessarily the best mortgage. There's a lot of factors that go into that. So the rates being raised early next year sort of just brought this up for me. This is something that I've seen a lot And most people don't understand the penalty, or even if they have one. So that is consistent with this this article that I read. I will link it below. But I thought that was kind of interesting. So yeah, if you have any other questions about making a purchase, or if you're a first-time buyer, please feel free to reach out to me. And as always, if you like the video, please like it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, have an awesome rest of your week.